This program is funded by the European Union.
Hi, I'm Andy Spike, and my personal style is simple, timeless, and classy. Tijania fashion gives me my personal style. They say you only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. And that's why Tijania fashion is enough for me. Visit Tijania Fashion today. For you deserve to be happy in the world of fashion.
To our audience worldwide, good evening and welcome to Gcci Business Matters. Last week on this platform, we had two phenomenal women, and like I said, we will continue the conversation from where we stopped. I believe all of you, we're paying a lot of much attention to what Aji was discussing. We were talking about a little bit of family issues, structure, and how the understanding of collaboration instead of competition between men, the man and the woman in the family, and how support can come from both sides. So Aji, I'll pick up from where you stopped. You made mention that the family where you come from, for you to be able to choose the right man and the right woman, also plays a very important role on how you come together.
Absolutely.
But my point, why I'm really scared, or why I really raise this point, is because the youths that are driving this sort of ideology are not yet in the marital space.
Exactly.
And sitting back, because I mean, we are all Western, we all love Western education.
Yeah.
We have to admit that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean all that we are taught it's 100% right, or it's 100% we should apply it.
Everything.
Because societally, morally and religiously, we are different. And in as much as our culture or our society may have some shortcomings, it does not also mean that all that we have or all that belongs to us is as that bad. Because you said those that are getting it right, but the drivers of this conversation are just sometimes sophomore university students. They're not even into third year, or some of them are in third year. They have not even graduated. If I listen to them, leading some agenda or being appointed as you this thing, you response, you this thing, the way they speak and what they are trying to push for, it's like they don't even have a depth of knowledge into what they are being, engaged to drive or to lead in. And this can lead a lot of misconception and misunderstanding. In as much as there's one point that I've picked from what you have said. Instead of, you said something very powerful. Not only empowering women, but also empowering the men, for them to also understand that a woman is not just somebody just in the house to do the chores and all that stuff. She's a decision maker.
Yeah, of course.
She is, she has an important fundamental role she plays in the family.
The builder.
If you two are in one, you should not take a decision as a man that affect the entire family without consulting her. That if men know that, and if they are trained to know that, I think a lot of things that are happening in society, we will not see that. But before you come, I want to shift the conversation to Binta. Binta, denga lu Aji Donwa. Dama bëgg nga wax ko ci olof su ko defee beneen côté boo xamante ne duñu understand anglais bu Aji wax, parce que Aji anglais bu mu dee wax dafa fort de. Waaw, so nga su ko defee ñoom tamit ñu mën a understand. Mooy man lu ma wax mooy generation suñ ñun ndaw yi generation nekk di instead of seeing góor ak jigéen as collaborators. We come together and solve issues. Ñu peddle agendas or ideas. Boo xamante ne it's like ñu create competition between góor ak jigéen. Te even in business or even naturally. So create a competition si ñaari nit. Comme collaboration effect bi dafa evaporate. Ku nekk dafa ku mun sa morom duma la mooy nekka. So dama bëgg yow sa xalaat ak sa perception ndax loo si gis ak loo si experience given your business experience trajectory.
Side boobu moom important na bu baax parce que anything you are doing warut a nekk competition, especially between maybe sa partner waruloo compete ak moom. For example, man maa wax man si suma side. Man moom suma jëkkër is very supportive. Whatever I am doing, when it comes to finance, moom maa support si finance at the get-go. Su fekkee ne amuloo jëkkër boo xamante ne mu ngi laa support si li nga def dafa metti torop because si li nga nekk rek yaa ngi am at the back of mind sa mind ne am na leneen loo war a dem def lu laa xaar si kër gi. So man for example man ak suma jëkkër dañoo génn 8 si suba si kër bi te bala ñoo jóg génn man maay gën a am enough sleep dan moom parce que moom mooy am pour jóg sanga suma doom bi benn doom lañu yàlla joxangum sanga suma doom bi solal ko uniforme ñu doog a dem te léegi sax moom mu jiitu because su dee maa ngi oversone dina ma bàyyi ma continuer suma nelaw moom mu jiitu yóbbu suma doom bi den ñu dem ubbi yeneen place yi so su fekkee ne yaa ngi am a supportive partner there shouldn't be any competition. Understand nga so ñu ñëw si góor yi tamit góor yi dañ war di gën a dimbale seen jabar yi ubbil leen yoon yaatal leen yoon ndax ñoom tam ñu mun na seen yëngu-yëngu mun a jëm si kanam because su fekkee ne yaa ngi liggéey te sa xel dalut si whatever li nga def du mun a dem si kanam. Understand nga léegi su fekkee ne yow tam yow jigéen bi for exemple comme man am naa loolu si suma jëkkër foog ma nit respect bi ma jox ko góor doo jigéen ñun jigéen ñi tamit foog nga bàyyi góor mu nekk a leader doo we already a leader waaye góor tam si kër foog mu wane ne tam mooy góor understand nga so su fekkee ne commencé nga di am ba yàlla def sa yow sa am ëppa sa jëkkër li moo am taxul nga wan ko ne yow fu mu nekk yaa gën a am kaddu yi yow rek yaa ko war a dogal so xale jigéen itam war nañoo bàyyi seen xel si side boobu noonu waaw.
Yeah, I think that is a fundamental social barrier that people need to understand that it is a more of a collaborative effort that men need to understand their women, their ladies, support them and protect them as it is required of them, and also the woman, give the woman the ability to make choices and decisions, support them in those decisions, but not the kind of thing that I'm seeing that youngsters or youths are peddling. For me, it's really scary because in the next 20 to 30 years or 40 years we are talking about, it is those youths that will become elders of society. So if these ideologies already implanted in their minds, if they get to that level where they have to make national decisions and all that, you will see a lot of imbalances. But let's go to the another line that I really want us to talk about: access to finance. You are the how do you call the women treasure women? How do you help the ladies to come on board? Because if you listen to Binta, she mentioned that her sister supported her and the husband supported her. So you can see she also mentioned that it's tough to get money or funds from commercial banks. How do you help or overcome that challenge?
This is the reason the Treasure Women Warriors is an advocate for financial inclusion for women. Women have the ideas, women have been toiling the soil, doing so much, but some of them need to scale their business to the next level, and some of them need to get their businesses to the next level. So what we do at the Treasure Women Warriors, we have a microfinance component. The microfinance component supports women. We build a business plan and go to the women. We don't work with individual women, we work with groups of 10. So because we want to reach as much women as we can rather than just one women. If it is one, we will not get there. The reason why we started with 100 women in 2019 to now we're at 7,000 women. So we provide access, we finance the women, and also financial literacy. Because one of the things that the Treasure Women Warrior realized, you have to teach women and let women know who they are, why they exist. Because if you give money to somebody who doesn't know their whys, the money might not be beneficial. But you build a business plan, you help them self-realize, know who they are, and so that they can put their money in a lucrative business. And some of these social things that women are involved in, batare, you work hard for 1 year, and one day you had a wedding and you splash it all in that wedding. So these are all things that, you know, we talk to them about, we teach them about, and then we set them up in business, and then we follow them through that business. We have coordinators that help them, business developers that help them develop these businesses. And we started with $700,000 that we pilot to now the women, we have 10 million that is in circulation with the women just in the microfinance component and growing. There has to be more access to finance for women, because most of these banks I call it predatory lending. Because if you're lending to a group of women, and eventually by everything is said and done, it's at a rate of 35%. Their profit is not even 35%. So most of these banks that are lending to women, these women will never be profitable. They will never diversify their businesses, because at 35%, there is no way you can even build a business. So also they ask women for collateral. That is also another issue that the Treasure Women advocates for. But the collateral, most of it is land-based. We need you to bring a title deed. Most women do not have title deeds, because if you look at the rural communities where we operate, women don't inherit land. It is their brothers who inherit it. Or you're married, you're married to a man, and the man dies, his brother, because in the rural communities we work on land. People produce, maize, whatever on land, and this is how they feed themselves. You'll be married to a man, and the man dies, and you have young children with that man. You will not inherit his land. Most likely his brother will take possession. So this is the reason why we have been having issues in agriculture, access to land and financing. And that's why when the Treasure Women Warrior advocates for land rights for women, it is not for women, it is for their families. Because even your sons, when they grow up, if they're little and your mom doesn't inherit land, when he gets older, if he wants to grow food, he doesn't have land to grow food. So these are the issues when we talk about financial inclusion. It cannot be exception of land rights for women, because for you to be financially, you have independence, or to build financial wealth, land is also part of building financial wealth. You can grow the food, you can become a farmer, you can sell it as commodity traders, then you have money, then you can invest in other enterprises, then it builds you a financial powerhouse and within your family and your children, and you get yourself to the next level.
That's great. So I would just say something on regards to the banks. I think a little bit, given my experience as a commercial banker before. So commercial banks, if you look at them, the type that we have here are very risk averse.
Yes.
So let's say Binta wants to get a loan from the bank. Okay. So the bank is looking at Binta's business, the cash flow, and the bank is looking at what are the monitoring tools that Binta has there.
Yes.
Binta may be somebody that is a little bit more advanced, but if you look at the other women that are low at the micro level, they don't have any structure of control, because the banks are also taking deposits and creating the loans. So committing too much of your loan portfolio to high risk, to high risk businesses.
Yes.
then you are also not only risking the bank's performance, but you are risking the depositors' funds also. So I think maybe we need a new structure of banks that are more, risk, willing to take new risk, because there's high risk involved. And I really have a strong feeling for women, because especially those in the agricultural business. If you wake up early in the morning, 6, 7, you walk around Tipagaras, you see a lot of them struggling, selling their vegetables to support their family. Some of us, our school fees have been paid, by those, those women, that kind of business that they're doing. And if they were supported, they would not only be doing the gardens at home, then they would have, hectares of land. And that's the point where land right comes in. If you go back into the rural areas, if you find people like me have that kind of experience where younger brothers of my dad wanted to take over the compound, and I declined. I fought for it because that is not only depriving the woman but also the children the opportunity to have a very strong base. Binta, since you am getting experience on the Luki Donwa, Aju Donwa, about access to land, Monica, is a very big problem for women who get into the business, even if they get into a certain type of business, for muna expand, for muna grow. Let's say those in agriculture, because women basically they are the ones that are providing the daily agricultural supply, because gori by toll maybe season to season lañ dé def by gerte wala by dugub ak ay season bi jeexna, but vegetables yu dem ci market bi on daily basis ngay jóge ci women garden bi. So do you have an experience or so understanding sa gis-gis, how do we solve that pour nga gis jigéen ñi mëna am access to vast land in comme num ko waxé sponsor them in groups, 20 of them, you have access to a huge amount of hectares with supports that are coming through projects, guy mun increase productivity and output. Yow lal moy sa gis-gis lolu
yep man foog na liggéey government la. Government bi mo wara dimbele jigéen surtout ndaw. Whatever you are doing, government waruñoo xaar pour ñu invite la. lu fu nekk technology lu nekk ci internet la, lépp looy def dina nekk ci internet bi. So su government gisee ne a young lady or góor sax mu ngi def lii gis nañ ko ci internet bi, government bi war nañu jóg dugal ci seen loxo, waruñoo xaar kenn invite la du noonu. Léegi ñu ñëw ci farmers yi ak ñi lii vegetable yeeg yooyu su ñëwee jaay sax, man bala ngaa ñëw ci affaire land sax bu ñëwee jaay soo jaayee ba ngoon moto bu laa yóbbu problème la. di nga taxawaalu ba sonna pour am moto bu laa yóbbu. So dama foog ne war nañoo gën a create gën a indi ay moto pour transportation bi tam easy ak ñoom, because doo mën a xëy 5 ci fajar dem sonna jaay ba pare buga ñibbi tela. Xam nga loolu tam dafa important torop. So side boobu tam war nañ leen see dimbali bu baax. Laan moom jaaykati jën sax dafa war a am laan, it's very important. Dafa important bu baax a baax. Laan dafa war a accessible pour everyone. Saa yu nekk dama daan dem laan sax pour ñun suñ affaire, because I am entitled comme ñeneen ni niñ entitled lay nuñ leen a joxee laan pour ñu build. I have comme ni ma la ko waxee, I have more than 20 employees. Understand? I am doing very well to society bi. I am definitely entitled pour ñu jox ma laan ma build for suma companies yi. Understand? See suma ice cream place bi, I am paying $1.4 million per year. Dafa métti. So man tamit war nañoo consider si side boobu nekku ne dañoo gis suñ jëma ji rek ne xale lañ, waaye nu ñoo joxee ñeneen ni laan ñun ñëpp we are very entitled pour side boobu noonu tamit. So nañu government bi tam dimbale ñun jigéen ñi nekk ci femme beeg ñëpp ñu dimbale ñu ngeen ñoo jàppale dëkk bi dem kanam, because at the other hand ñun tam bokk nañ ci ñuy develop dëkk bi. boo ko seetloo you have more than 20 people under you, ñoom tam ñu ngi dimbale seen family. Understand nga? So ñun tam wax dëgg yàlla ñu ngi play suñ part. So na government bi tam jàppale jigéen ñi ak ndaw yi. Te ma wax la dara tam mais bi laajuloo ma loolu waaye xale yi ñu ngi liggéey, jigéen ñi ñu ngi liggéey, bu baax a baax a baax a baax su ma la waxee suma ice cream place bi dama fa am employees yi nga xam ne soxlu ma leen fa parce que suma yaram daw na all the time more than 5 to 6 people ñooy call pour wax ne dañoo ut liggéey ñu ngi just graduate bëggu ñoo toog noonu loolu lañ la dee wax oo ñu sol seen daala sax ñëw foofu ak seen certificate ne la dama graduate dama bëgg a liggéey understand nga so government bi nañ dimbalee ndaw yi nga bu ñu suñ dimbalee ndaw yi mooy stop idleness bi so idleness bi mooy indi yeneen moo leen lead to drugs te after using the drugs mooy indi crime rates yu bari yi nii so su fekkee ne am nañ li ñoo creatal youth si mu gën a ubbeeku for example yaa ngi gis youth bi mu ngi def lii man suma place boobu bëgg naa mu gën a mag bëgg naa ko am Brikama bëgg naa ko am Basse waaye su ma amee ndimbal mun naa def loolu nga xam ne naa mun na employat yeneen youth so nga xam ne idleness bi dina wàññeeku parce que bëgguloo dem school ba jeexal amuloo dara looy def dangaa mujjee toog si ñaanantu mujjee toog xale yu góor yi di la fayantoo understand nga so loolu yëpp ñu avoid ko foog ñu dimbale ñu su ñu dimbalee ñu mun a dimbale ñi nekk suñ gannaaw.
That is an impressive one. Déglu naa la ba man fàtte naa dama la war a laaj questions wala dama war a continue conversation because li nga wax is so realistic and it's the implications are so important in our society. Dama jaaxal tey xaw ma time yi dafa nekk di naaw wala because ñu ma alaataat ne time is running out but I will come to Aji a little bit. Aji, how do we get people like how to call it, Binta, to meet with the Women Treasure Group to see if they can get better financing? Is that possible? How does that work?
The Treasure Women Warrior is actually doing that already. So you mentioned this women as, you know, the risk that is involved in actually investing in the informal sector. So what do? You formalize the informal sector. So when you formalize the informal sector by creating a structure, which is what the Treasure Women Warrior has done, we created a structure. Up to today, we have 0 default rate, our women. Imagine for 5 years, there hasn't been a woman that has defaulted because we do profit sharing every 6 months. So also the Treasure Women Warrior, women like Binta are seeing what we're doing. They said, you know, we see that you fund other women. We have this money that we want to also finance these women that are in the Treasure Women Warriors because we know you have a structure that is proven. So we've had 6 women that came in that actually invested, and we allocated groups to them. The groups are doing well. The women who invested are doing well, and the women are also doing well, reinvesting back in the business. So women also as a solution, women that are, you know, business women that have money that are sitting somewhere, or, you know, women millionaires, they're coming in and said, we want to become a Treasure Woman. We want to be stakeholders. So this could get to a point where it could be even a women bank that we don't have to go and for financing to other people. We can finance our own projects.
That is a very important point. Binta, sub business here, are they all under different names?
Yeah, they're all under different names. And is Cotton Fit Tailoring. The other one is Chico's Furniture. The other one is Gcci.
So are they all registered?
Yes, they're all registered.
And they with their TIN numbers and all
everything.
That. So what do you think about putting them under a group? You know what we call a group in business? It's like you have one name that is an umbrella of all these businesses. So you have one name, but there are 3 or 4, 5 of them. And that will help you. Say if you get in touch with people like Aji to see, okay, Binta has business X, Y, and Z, but all is under Binta da or this da, and that will be more presentable, so that if you are seeking funding somewhere, you don't have to present all of them. So you just register the name of that and own the patent of that name, and then you have each of them with their own single.
Yeah, they're all under Binta Drame.
They're all under Binta Drame.
Yeah.
But Binta Drame is not a business.
No.
It's an individual. So register it, make a group, that will help. Make a group of that. And like she said, it's also important for the women who have excess funds lying down, because let me ask one question and you just have to answer it quickly.
Yeah.
The Women Treasure Group right now, how is it funded mainly? The source of funding?
Yeah,
is it foreign? Is it support?
No, because we wanted to show that we could be a solution to this country.
Okay.
So it's locally funded. There's no international funding.
So it's locally funded.
Yes.
And the major funder is locally?
Well, 75% is me, then 25% you have all of these women that are coming in now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so which means if we get a lot of more women coming,
Yeah.
that's going to diversify the source of funding.
Absolutely.
And give you the capacity to fund people like Binta. Have you ever met Binta before?
No, this is the first time.
So Binta, I introduce
we're
you.
Facebook friends.
You are
okay.
Facebook friends. So Binta, I introduce you to Aji, business-wise.
Yeah.
Do the registration. I want to make follow-up on this, and let's see how it works. And Gcci Business Matters will take that up. Okay?
Yeah.
Do we have an
Yes,
arrangement on that?
absolutely.
Until
We'll
we
support each other. Yeah.
Thank you. Until we come your way next week. This conversation, 1 hour is way short, but that's what we have for you. I believe this conversation has exceeded expectations, and there's a lot of things that we have discussed that society will benefit from. This was Malik M. Jallo, Gcci Business Matters. Till I come your way next week. Thank you.
This program was funded by the European Union.